I don't remember enough, except that Nevalier is not the captain and does not want to be the captain.
Yeah, we were given our own ship, and we were put on a mission, and we have somebody like supervising us.
Yep, we were. Everything with the simulation ended rather explosively. A couple weeks later, you were told that you were going to be given essentially a practical test, practical mission, that a adamantine meteor had struck Hakatha, the homeworld of the Beholders. And you were to go try and get the meteor really fast before it could be noticed and taken. And in order to try and make that as easy as possible, there is a abandoned, derelict Tyrant ship, which is the type of ship that the Beholders use, in orbit. That all you had to do was put a spelljamming chair in, and that you would be able to hopefully fly it to Hakatha to kind of stay under cover. And you were put there with under the supervision of I believe it is Winston Ryback. Double check. I know it's Ryback. I forget his first name off the top of my head. Yes, Winston.
Sounds familiar. Yeah.
And sent with the additional help of Micken, Cricklet, and Fred to fully try to control this tyrant ship and get where you need to go. All of you were going to essentially head the mission. Any final say on dangerous things or things that might affect the full mission would have to be approved by Officer Ryback. But you were effectively being given free leave unless in emergency situations. And Winston stayed in the cargo bay, kind of setting up your point of almost your base of operations, I should say. And Fred and Cricklet were helping them, while the rest of you used the access shaft to climb up the absolutely massive ship to try and get to the command deck, along with Micken. And as you all were going up, Button was the first one out. And as soon as Button's feet hit the floor, you all felt the ship begin to spin. And it is spinning end over end, round and round, and starting to pick up speed. You have a brief moment to try and do something, if you would like to do something, before the fun starts.
Oh boy. I don't know if I have anything mechanically that's going to be useful at all here, but can I... I mean, is there any way to assess what's happening or why?
Let me see here. Roll me a perception, and I will say, so long as you are flying, because Nevalier was flying while everybody else was having to deal with rope ladders, you are not necessarily in danger so long as you stay aloft.
It's a little awkward because it's the tunnels are very tight, but I can stay up. Perception. Oh, do I not have... Did I not roll?
I do not see anything.
Damn it. Okay, hold on. I need to figure out why it won't let me roll. I want... Where are rolls? In the meantime, I can roll a d20 here and add 4.
Yeah.
15.
You're a wisdom or an intelligence blood hunter?
Yeah, a wisdom blood hunter.
Okay. You try to like poke your head around and get up into like a little bit of the higher space into the command deck proper outside of the access tunnel to make it a little bit easier to stay aloft. You kind of look around as you see buttons start to slide across the floor, and you're not 100% sure because it is an extremely foreign ship to you, but it looks like there is magic pulsing through the command deck, and you're fairly certain that you have triggered a trap. But with how it is, it's a trap that there's some way to turn off. Techway, Angela, you got something?
Techway's just gonna try to brace, I guess.
Okay.
Brace for impact.
So, let me go here. You can essentially, if you want to just stay where you are and not do anything specifically, you have two options. You have a brace, which is a strength check, or you have a roll with it, is what they're calling it, which is a dex check. The brace, will, if you pass the check, that means that what I'm going to have you roll to see if anything happens when the ship starts spinning really hard, you get advantage on it. The roll with it, you'll get a +4 instead of advantage.
I'm gonna go with the roll with it.
Okay, make a dex save for me.
Dex save. Hey!
Nice. So you'll get a +4 here in a moment.
Dope.
Piper?
Can I try and figure out the source of this trap and maybe like short circuit it?
Would you say that you were the one immediately behind Button?
Yeah.
You can pop your head over and use your action to try and locate the source. However, you will not get any benefits to the roll like Cody just got. Just so that you're aware, that's how it's running. You get an action, and then at the end of essentially every round, you have to roll to see if you get injured.
Sure, I guess that's fine.
Okay. So, let me see here. You pop your head over. Make. Your passive is your Arcana, isn't it?
Stealth.
Stealth, okay.
I don't know why I chose stealth, but...
Make an Arcana roll for me.
It's rolling. It's rolling.
We believe in you. Ooh. Yeah, you're just very, very confused at the moment. You weren't expecting this ship to go end over end on you so quickly. So, Techway and Angela make dex saves.
+4, so 18.
18 and 12.
Also, hi, Iris.
Oh, we have an Iris. Hi, Iris.
Hello.
So, just missed the DC, Piper. So you will take 7 damage as the ship rolls. You actually go flying out of the command deck, or out of the access tunnel into the air for a moment, and as the ship continues to roll, the gravity plane pulls you back down and you just land prone on the floor of the command deck beside the access tunnel. Techway, you feel yourself being lifted off of this wooden ladder, but you just kind of lean in with it and try to curl yourself around one of the sides and hold a little tighter, and you manage to just barely keep a hold while you see Angela go flying and Button go sliding clear across the floor above you.
Oh.
Alright, you all get to try something else really fast.
Okay, Trap has to... I assume the trap would probably be on the... I can't even remember what it's called. The, chair. The spelljamming chair.
Remember, you are installing a
wherever-
spelljamming chair.
Well, wherever they may install it, I assume it would have to be something wrong there. Because the whole ship is moving.
Yeah.
So can I have Nevalier just like start navigating towards wherever the chair is being installed? Or, well, I can't imagine it's still being installed like this, but where where it would be seated, situated.
Make an investigation.
Hmm, 19.
That's not bad. So you start trying to just fly, going across this command deck and like peeking in all of these rooms that you're not quite sure what they are meant for. And as you come around to the far room at the very bottom of the command deck map, you look in and you see what looks almost like a control panel on the far side that's not too dissimilar in its basic form to the control panels that were being used in the simulation rooms. You see these magic pulses seem to be originating from it, though there is no instructions, no words that you understand written on it. Just a bunch of buttons and flashing lights.
Fuck. I am going to take out a dagger and ping myself for some damage and activate my, what is it called? Crimson Right, which is lightning damage. And the hope is that I can short circuit something. I don't know if electricity or electric magic will do that, but I'm gonna try. How much damage do I take? Nice.
Okay.
Ouch.
And are you just stabbing it with your dagger?
I want to I'm gonna have the dagger like out, lit up, spun around in my hand, and I will just I don't know what check I could try to make to try and suss out some of what's being just can I divine in some strange way what anything here does?
It would be an Arcana check.
I'll try it. Normal roll. Nope.
Yeah, it's a bunch of flashing bright lights to you.
Stabbing it.
Can I help with that?
Unless you're right beside me, and then I won't stab it.
I would like to try and help.
Yeah.
I will say that Angela, if Nevalier wants to try and communicate with you what he is seeing, you can try to stumble your way over to the room to take a look. You will need to pass a dex save really fast to do that. So it's DC 12.
Okay.
There
Just
you
made
go.
it.
So you kind of scramble across the floor and stumble your way along the wall, holding on as best you can to this smooth glass-like surface to peek in underneath Nevelier and see the panel. And you can make an Arcana with a +2, since Nevelier is also here.
I'm just gonna roll d20. It's faster. +7, so 21.
Okay. So yeah, you look at it and you're immediately like, okay, I think I understand what this is maybe supposed to be doing, hopefully. And you can see that though all of the buttons and all of the lights and everything are on and are flashing, there is one that seems to be flashing just a half second before the pulse of magic goes out through the ship. And in the exact same rhythm. And you're like, that might be it.
Points to the button. Hit that one.
I hit it.
Okay. Roll me just your attack damage. Because you're gonna fucking hit it. It's a button.
So like an unarmed strike?
Are you hitting it with your hand or with the dagger that you just charged up?
Well, well, you said just to like my damage or well, I'll roll this.
Yeah, roll your dagger plus your lightning.
Crimson Right, which is here. So 8.
Okay. So you just, are you hitting it with the pommel or are you trying to stab it?
I'm trying to hit it with the pommel.
Okay.
I don't want to. I wouldn't stab.
Well, you never know. So you fly over as quick as you can and strike at the control panel, and you can see that the hit sends a shockwave through the ship. You can see your electricity go way further than it should. And the control panel starts to spark and smoke just a little bit, and you're fairly certain that all of you feel the spinning slow just a little bit, but it's still spinning. You think you need just a little bit more to get it to stop. Techway, Trixie, either of you doing anything?
I have no clue what's going on, so...
You were heading up the access tunnel on the Tyrant ship. Button hit the floor. As soon as Button hit the floor, the entire ship started spinning end over end. And you are still on the rope ladder in the access tunnel.
Okay.
Is it possible to still roll with it while also like
anything
I'm
that
just gonna...
gives you advantage to that dex save that you have to make will take up your entire action, essentially.
Yeah, so I will just roll with it.
Okay, make me a dex save really fast. And for context, Iris, at the end of essentially every round, everyone is making dex saves to see if they get thrown and injured.
Okay.
Or you can try to do something to give yourself advantage or a bonus on that roll, or you can try to do something else to help stop or help somebody else.
So, on this... where exactly... We're on the
I also need to do this.
access shaft. So, the access shaft would be like these things, right?
Yeah,
Here.
so if you look down at the very bottom where the command deck map is, you're coming out of the access shaft that is labeled at the very top.
Okay.
And the command panel, control panel, is down here. So Nevalier is right in front of it, and Angela is like in the doorway. And Button has skidded off into another room.
Okay.
Because metal feet on glass stone does not mix.
If I could get to the open area, could I potentially like open my wings a bit to try and get to Button?
Yeah, if you would like to fly, you can.
Yeah.
If you want to, I would say if you just want to fly and go retrieve Button, you can do that.
Yeah.
That'll
that's
just
what I
take up
wanna
your
do.
entire action.
Okay.
Okay, and unfortunately the 8 does not beat the DC. So Tekwe and Angela, and also Micken, because I forgot I need to roll for him, make dex saves. This boy just rolled 2 nat 20s.
Apparently Micken's fine. So like, oh wait, Micken's a ship guy.
Like, how is this little wizard doing this? Okay. Tekwe, you manage to stay upright. Angela, you try grabbing onto the wall again, and you just can't find purchase, and you go sliding across the room into a wall. You'll take another 2 points of damage, and you are once again prone. Top of the round, Nevalier, you can try to hit it one more time. You just need a few more points to damage it enough.
I'm gonna give it a good old whack. Yet again. And I assume I'm rolling the exact same thing.
Yes, your weapon damage and your Crimson Right.
Dagger. And right. 10.
As you smack this button again and send your lightning through the command panel and into the wall and through the ship, you see that this time, as it arcs out across the wall and floor and ceiling around you, it continues until it just essentially in a wave goes all across the command deck. And Angela, you sitting on the floor, you feel it very slightly like static electricity running up your hands as it passes by you. And as soon as it does a complete circuit, the magic that is pulsing through the ship that is causing it to spin dies away. And the ship continues to rotate, but it slows significantly, and you all know that it will stop in a few minutes. It just needs to correct itself again. And you all have managed to stop the trap.
Whew. Just waiting for the merry-go-round to slow to a crawl. Or rather, it's more like the vomit cylinder thing.
Yeah, that's the more
Help
accurate
the
one, I
world.
guess. And who kept the sending stone? Did you all get the sending stone? I double check. Yeah, who wants to say that they had the sending stone?
Sure.
As you kind of sit there and this deck and the ship slowly is coming to a stop. The stone lights up in your pocket, and you just hear the kind of exasperated tone of Officer Ryback, and you just get this very brief and curt, "What the hell?"
The place was trapped. Sorry. Ugh.
please tell me you're on the command deck at least. And as he's asking, you can hear the matching groans of pain from Fred and Cricklet in the background.
Yeah, we're on the command deck. We stopped it. We're good.
And you just hear him start cursing under his breath before he clicks off the sending stone and it goes silent.
They can sweep this place for traps before sending the recruits in.
I mean, this is supposed to be a test.
Oh, I was about to say, like, I guess Navalier's just like, oh, I guess they just sort of expect it to be in 0G, so to not step on any pressure plates or something.
Slowly, Techway, you can make your way up the rest of the ladder onto the command deck, making just a few rungs behind you. Looking a little less enthused and a little more panicked. And, I imagine, since the two of you were at the bottom of the ladder, the two of you were also between you, trying to get this crate that has the spelljamming helm up and onto the command deck.
Well, let's continue with the Spelljammer chair. Yeah.
The tour.
Sorry, my headset just stopped working all of a sudden. Yes, taking up the crate.
Okay. So you all shift this crate around, and you can pick anywhere on the command deck that you would like to situate it.
And this is where we're putting the Spelljammer chair.
Yes.
Yeah. This is where Button is going to spend most of their time.
Is there enough room, like,
So-
in the middle for us to move around and still have her there?
Yeah, if you, like, put it up against one of these, like, walls that are between the rooms,
Yeah.
there would be enough for somebody to, like, a single person to squeeze between her and the opening that is in the center that goes back down to the hollow deck below.
Or we can also, put her, like, against one of these walls.
Could we put the chair in one of these weird tubies?
That would be up another level. You can, if you would so like to go up another level.
Now, how about just, like, against this wall where there's clearly nothing, like, bothering, and it's secure. So if anybody
Yeah.
rushes through, they'd have to get to that choke point.
Sure. No complaints.
So hi, Amy.
Hi.
You missed the fun of Button going sliding.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was like, shit, this thing I'm doing, I'll be there in 5 more minutes, and like 5 minutes passed, and I was like, well, shit, this is gonna take longer. Just start without me.
So, final decision, spelljamming helm down here where the control panel was?
Where's that?
Command deck, the bottom of the maps?
Yep.
Down
Here.
here.
Oh, okay. Down here. Okay. I mean, I haven't been here. I don't know the pros and cons. So you guys decide.
No, I mean, it's your chair that's good. Basically where you're going to be sitting for most of the time.
Well, I will also say if Button had complained about it at all, Micken would also offer his services as spelljammer.
Button's only complaint is the loneliness.
Micken, in fact, seemed rather intrigued by the idea like 2 levels ago. Like, how many people get to actually say they flew Tyrant ship?
Hell yeah.
Tyrant ship.
Button and Micken, best Spelljammers. Hell yeah, let's go.
You two can alternate.
Hell yeah. Alright, sure, I'd be down. As long as you guys don't, leave Button for too long, then evasive maneuver drill start.
And we've already just seen what evasive maneuver drills feel like.
Yeah, what?
So, you guys can install the spelljamming helm. It will take... Actually... Angela, you have Tinker's tools, don't you?
I do.
Okay, roll me an intelligence check.
Plus my Tiger Souls, I assume.
Yes.
So that's setup plus 5. At 11. I'm not rolling well today.
That is still enough. It'll only take you about 30 minutes if Angela is willing to be the primary installer
Yeah, that's fine.
to get this spelljamming chair set up and connected properly. Because Tinker's tools and a magical person with Tinker's tools actually really helps with that.
Nice.
But you manage to get it set up, and as soon as it is set up, Button or Micken, either of you can hop into the chair and start the ship underway.
Would Micken want to go first? Button would offer it to Micken, being like,
Micken is more than happy to sit on that chair, because it also is some semblance of safety, because the ship just went flying and the spelljamming chair would stay upright the entire time. It's like, if the ship starts rolling again, I think the chair is the safest spot. Just saying. Don't really want to go crashing into a wall, so I'm fine. I'm fine. I'll sit in it.
okay.
And so Micken sits down in the chair, and it only takes him a moment or two to connect and kind of suss out the ship. It is completely new. There is no training on a Tyrant ship at the Academy. But he seems to adjust fairly quick, and some of the panic fades back into a little bit of excitement as you all feel the ship slowly shift very slightly and then slowly start on its journey away from Toril and into wild space. And there is a moment as you feel that shift and you feel the ship fully launch into its full speed, that you all realize this is the first time that you have truly been in wild space. But you all have run of the ship for the moment.
Ooh. So, like, which way is it, like, moving?
Let me go scroll to this top portion.
Is it in,
The
like, this
leggies-
orientation?
The leggies move in that direction.
Yeah,
So
so this is going to be the front of the ship. This is like the nose of the ship. And this would be the rear end at the moment.
Okay, so, like, the ship is moving this way.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, we're standing on this gravity plane, so the ship is moving where our heads are
Yes.
pointing. That's fucking awesome.
So it feels like going up for a brief moment, like when you're in an elevator that's really fast, and it just starts off, and you have that moment where it feels just a little bit heavier. It feels like that for about 30-40 seconds before you all adjust. And you all knew that going back and forth across the gravity plane will still be very disorienting, especially now that speed and movement are being added into it.
Huh. This is very interesting.
You just hear this very quiet mumble from Mick, and this is fucking great.
Mm-hmm. How does it compare to the other ships?
What do you mean?
The simulations we had to pilot a hammer ship, correct? Hammerhead ship? Fucking that one?
Mm-hmm.
How does that compare to this?
I mean, this is like the Beholders are like a space race. These ships are made for space by people that understand what it's like more than any of the rest of us ever could. The sheer power and speed that the ship can reach if it really wanted to, if I had time to understand it, there's not a ship in the fleet that could match it.
What do you think the closest ship would be?
He just kind of like tilts his head side to side. Depends on what you're meaning. Power or speed or just size?
I think more along power and speed would be more interesting.
Well, the fastest speeds that we make, at the very least, come in some of the modded dragonflies and damselflies. Maybe a wasp. Power, I guess the closest you could get would be a full galleon. Maybe. I mean, there's some others that, like, could compete. Like the nautiloids. But they're hard to find, just like Tyrants. At least hard to find when you find them.
So I guess those are off the... That's not an option. Understandably so.
Well, I mean, unless you want to fight a, like, battalion of Gith.
Not at the moment. Not anytime soon.
Aren't the Gith the enemies of the Beholders? Is there a way that we could signal that we are not Beholders? As we're just
Without
flying?
risking it being heard by everybody else.
Wait, do you guys think that we're gonna be fighting people? I don't want to. I thought this was a retrieval mission.
Yes, but we're going on to a beholder planet. If they find out that we're using one of their ships, they'll likely attack. So if there are any like patterns that Tyrant ships use, or if they travel differently, then we need to know.
As you say that, the excitement on Wiccan's face just kind of fades, and you see the, like, slow deflating, like, shoulders sinking. I mean, I know about the ship, kind of. I never studied patterns.
Well, we will just have to make do then.
There's a moment where Micken just kind of looks a little dejected. Sorry. I guess I should have thought of that.
There's no need to be sorry. The information you already have is invaluable.
It took me a second. I thought you said isn't valuable, and I was like, "Damn, Button! Fucking, why don't you just kill him now?"
No, Button is wholesome
Invaluable.
being. Yeah. Indispensable. Extremely useful. Crucial. Critical. Vital. Irreplaceable. This is Button rattling off synonyms, actually.
Micken just staring, kind of wide-eyed, just like blinking, not sure what to handle, like how to handle this.
Just looking big LED eyes. I keep forgetting the Button doesn't blink. This big round LED eyes from under the hat stares at him.
I mean, Nevalier will just like pat Micken once and be like, "I think you're more worried than you need to be, but I would hope you know to expect some form of, well, displeasure from our general presence, depending on who we find. Might run into pirates, you know."
Micken kind of tilts his head slightly and looks at you. You think a pirate would try to fight a tyrant ship?
Nevalier holds up a finger and says, "A Gith pirate would."
Fair point.
Or one lacking intelligence.
Well, just so we're clear that the Gith are enemies of mind flayers, right? Isn't this a beholder ship?
I assume that they're not keen on any illithid.
Are beholders illithid?
Above table, I believe they are.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, anything that's like tentacle shaped is illithid.
Okay.
They're all kind of within the same family of aberrations. They are not directly related to each other, from what I remember. But they are close enough that they often get linked together.
Okay.
Though, to be fair, you would also all know, in this setting with everything that's going on and being at Spelljammer Academy, the kind of basics at the very least that there are many species of beholders and many species of beholders that all fight with each other all the time. They cannot stand each other. And so there is clans and factions and species on top of the general mess of a beholder that you will have to deal with in spelljamming setting.
And beholders are all afraid of shit. That's their main thing.
Paranoia.
Yeah, they're extremely paranoid.
Yeah.
They're extremely paranoid, but also in this setting, the mother of beholders comes back. So there is some things that actually will make a beholder go against their natural instincts, because it's for the betterment of their particular species.
Huh.
Huh.
I never considered beholders having a mother before.
That's the mind flayers and beholders have a little bit more of an expanded lore in spelljamming.
Good damn.
Which also will give you the clue that you're gonna have to deal with all of them at some point. Just saying.
Yay.
For those of you that have never had to fight a beholder before, you get to look forward to that eventually. Beholders are the dragons of this setting.
I got my beholder for my lifetime, thanks.
I've never fought a beholder, and I don't want to.
We don't want to. No.
Fucking. All right. Let's get off of the beholder talk. Any other fun facts we can get from Micken about this ship?
You would have to ask him. So I know what to bullshit and or pull out of the filing cabinet at the very, very back of my mind.
Fucking Z, I came in here, no hesitation, asking for lore. Button apparently got yeeted, and Button is back, and Button has questions.
Yeah, because you were not here, what happened to Button is as soon as the ship started spinning, metal feet plus glass stone floor does not work, and so she just went on a trip, just sliding all over the place until Trixie flew and picked her up to try and help her out a little bit.
She was just like a roller rink, just...
Yep. Just sliding, flying, and then occasionally for like 3 seconds lifting up into the air because it flipped in a certain direction, and then just smacking back down into the floor and sliding again.
Oh my god, that's incredible. Okay. Oh yeah, Button here. Button demands answers. And Micken might have them.
So if you're pressing him on more things about Tyrant ships,
Yeah.
he just kind of tilts his head one way and then another as he's trying to dig up the information from the back of his mind. And, well, I mean, these ships are, of course, made by beholders. Usually, there's a hive mother who's the one that's technically in charge. Like, all the beholders on the ship are her kin. From what I understand, most of the things that Tyrant ships can do rely on her abilities. Like, okay, so I've heard one time there was a story about a Tyrant ship that was able to, like, just put an entire enemy ship to sleep because the Hive Mother, just cast, like, her ray through one of the legs of the ship, and it got amplified, and it just hit, like, an entire galleon. I mean, it was first-hand account, but also the crew was suffering from some space madness by the time people found them, so I don't know if it's true. But I think some of the legs that were outside, that's what the legs were. They're ray amplifiers.
Button pulls out the map and points to these things. These?
I just had to refresh my page really fast. Give me a second to get back there. What are you pointing at?
Oop.
Yeah,
Oh.
those. So, like, there's, like, theoretically, a leg for every ray that the original Hive Mother had. And to bring you back all to this one really fast.
Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot. Seven.
Any of you that would like to roll a history, you can see if what he is saying sparks anything else in your mind.
Nope.
Nah.
If I do roll a history, do I get advantage because of beholder knowledge or no?
Yes, aberrations do count.
Whoops. 14.
Okay. So, Nevalier, you've heard of similar stories. However, you didn't hear about the sleep one. You heard about a disintegrate ray that got amplified through a Tyrant ship. And up until this point, you thought it was just complete and total bullshit. Because it's like, there's no way that that can be a thing. But now that you have Micken saying, well, like, there's one and it's a smaller spell, that he is like, well, there's one that did this. You're like, well, maybe it is possible? Question mark. Techway, all of this sounds relatively familiar to you. You've heard of similar stories of various kinds. So it's not surprising to you, but you would also know that generally these ships are made for the combined purposes of breeding and also purification for beholders. It's a place that a hive mother can have young and extend her clan, but also it is a place that serves as a focal point for beholders in their traveling of the galaxy to purify the galaxy of everything that is not beholder or beholder adjacent.
That's a lot of information. Nevalier will be very curt with his explanation, but he will explain the gist of what he at least knows, trying to make the disintegration ray bit sound a little bit less threatening since Micken is still in earshot. Like, it's kind of hard to play that one down, but we're gonna try.
As you're explaining what you know, Micken, there's a moment of concern, but then it very quickly ticks back over into this, like, I wonder. And you realize that as long as it's focused 100% on the ship's capabilities, he is a little more controlled by his curiosity than by his fear.
Huh.
Techway would then share what he knew.
Oh, this is interesting indeed.
I don't know how to tell if any of that is true or where on the ship anything would be. But I mean, I guess it all makes sense.
Be that as it may, it doesn't really change what we're supposed to be doing now. We're needed elsewhere. All of these thoughts are just fanciful for the time being.
Bacon nods slightly. Well, I mean, standard mapping to Hekatha is gonna be a while.
Yes.
Alright. So, is
Well,
any more
I'm gonna go
RP?
check this place out.
Okay. Say any more RP? Anything else you're wanting to
I
So-
feel like Trixie got somewhat bored of the conversation at some point and started just looking at all the rooms and shit.
So,
Curiosity.
as you're poking around the command deck, you see kind of the standard, you see all of the access shafts that you're made aware of when you first did your exploration of the cargo deck level. And you see in the exact center of this room, there is a opening that leads down one level into the holodeck area. And the bottommost room where the Spelljammer helm was stationed appears to be more or less set up with the idea of it being the primary command area. Damn it. Thing's broken. So you see the slightly smashed and broken control panel on the wall. And you can see a couple of other things, indentions in the wall, of varying heights that were not in the rest of the ship that make you think, those were probably used for some purpose, some controlling the ship, controlling what is happening purpose. You don't really know what. But you can see that they were very intentionally carved in certain locations and are smoothed out in a very similar way to the rest of the ship, where it's all kind of turned to glass because of the disintegration beams. Let me start this again because now I'm distracted that it stopped working. In the other rooms, or from the top of each of the rooms on the command deck, you can also see there is an opening in the exact center of the ceiling in each of the rooms that leads up to what looks like another level with much smaller rooms. Much like the rest of the ship, there's no way of really climbing up to them. But they are there. And...
Could I fly up to that?
You can if you would like.
I'm curious.
Let me fight with Sirenscape for a second.
No problem.
Okey-doke.
It's funny. My computer freaks out for one thing, and everything else comes back fine. Sirenscape decides it wants to just, like, over-dramatically crash every single time.
Abandoned ship.
So you fly up into the rooms, and these are distinctly smaller than any of the other rooms that you've come across. They are only slightly larger around than the access shafts that you climbed up, and they are in a very distinct orb shaped to them. They are not just round, they are actually shaped like a ball. And roll me perception.
Everyone?
Anyone who would be exploring those particular rooms, I think only Nevelair and Trix would be able to reach them at the moment.
Yeah.
No.
Good luck. I believe in you.
21.
21 and a 19. Nice.
God damn.
Secret nap time hidey hole.
Secret clubhouse.
Time to shirk duties.
Look around, and unlike the rest of the ship, you can see that the kind of smooth glass stone walls of this ship, or of these rooms, I should say, has been marred in a couple of different spots, which, when you examine them, very distinctly look like stripes of magic damage going across them. And as you kind of start to explore a little closer after noticing that, you also see a series of scratch marks.
Scratch marks?
Right around the entrances of these rooms. Almost like something climbed in or climbed out.
Oh boy. Am I able to, it's just scratch marks. Am I able to assess what it could and couldn't be? Like, it's not going to be an XYZ, but it could be an ABC.
You can roll nature or survival to try and suss that out.
I'm going to try survival. Let me turn on prompt. There you go. And am I rolling at advantage because of monster or no?
Not for this one.
13.
You kind of stop and let yourself come down to the ground and inspect these scratch marks closely, and kind of running your talons along them. They don't look like scratch marks made by natural creatures. They look a little too thin and precise. Where there would be a very distinct gash from a talon or a claw. These are not that.
Okay. So do these scratches, so they're No, hold on. I need to let my brain simmer for a second. When when with the scratch marks looking the way they do, is there like any other motive other than like get to the other side of this thing, like get into the hatch? Are they scratching like for some kind of control thing? I don't know if that makes sense. Because you said it's like they look more intelligently driven.
With the perception, it looks more like a traversal scratch rather than a digging.
Okay. I'm going to point this out to Trixie, just in case she, I guess, wasn't seeing what I see.
Both of you saw the scratches. It's just you were the one that sat down and was like, okay, let me figure out what these scratches are.
Yeah.
Trixie isn't very concerned. She just sees a napping hidey hole.
Yeah. Good. But, yeah, so Neville will point it out and kind of run a finger along it. And without looking over at Trixie, he'll say, we should be concerned about something possibly getting on our ship without our knowing. Looks like something scurried in here. And he'll point to the scratch marks. Which, I mean, you saw them, but that's his glean, what he gleaned from it.
These bubbles, they don't lead to the outside, right? There doesn't seem to be
No.
Yeah.
So essentially that blue box at the top where you see the kind of like half section of the ship, that's kind of where you guys are. You're at the very top of them. Little tendrils up here.
Okay.
So there's like a bubble on the top of each of them.
Is there any other? There's no. It's just flat. It's smooth. Besides scratches, correct?
Beside the scratches and the kind of magical scorch marks that you see.
I don't like this. But I don't think there's anything we can do about it right now. We should search the rest of the ship. Not that we were going to leave any stones alone when we're turning them all like this, but better safe than sorry. And Nefalir will slip back down the access path and go to the group. And he's about to break some bad news that, hey, shit's weird now.
How weird are we talking?
Yeah, so Nefalir will drop down and say, like, it looks almost like something scurried in, crawling along the walls. Be on the lookout for something in the ship.
Recently?
Could I tell recency?
Because of the manner of the stone, not really. It's not like dirt where there would be a level of displacement that would be like, change with time. This is a completely contained stone.
Yeah, so there's no wear and tear from any sort of natural occurrence.
Yeah.
Nefalir he just shakes his head. No way to tell. Could be recent, could be a holdover from who knows how long ago, but working with what I got.
Alright, well, we'll conduct a sweep just to make sure.
Nods. And I guess with that, it's we're gonna start moving to the rest of the various rooms, going room to room, just keeping his eyes peeled as peeled as they could possibly be.
Are you guys moving as a group or are you guys splitting up?
As a group.
Hi, have we regrouped?
Yeah, you guys have regrouped at this point, and Nefalir filled you in.
Yeah.
Understood. Thank you.
Trixie hasn't?
Nope. She's just curiously looking around leisurely.
That's fine. You're fine.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So am I hearing everybody else and then Trixie?
Well, stranger danger. We need to find Trixie.
She's not avoiding everyone, just more like, I'm bored, need to find something to do.
She's wandering.
Yep.
Nefalir is going to take he's going to have a dagger in one hand and the short sword in the other, and he's going to also take an opportunity to ignite the short sword, so that he's going to have two lightning blades going now.
Are we hunting something?
Yeah, the ship was abandoned, wasn't it?
Abandoned by, well, abandoned in some sense, but there's clearly still something here.
Well, that's not 100% sure, like you said, but we should do a sweep just to make sure.
Okay. Somebody roll me a d6. Okay. So So, you all kind of start searching the shift, or not shift, searching the ship. And Micken just kind of timidly like, I'll stay right here. This seems like a good spot for me.
Sure.
Just pats
Stay there.
the spelljamming
Alone.
chair.
Where we can't reach you.
He just like looks at you and looks around. Well, if I leave, the ship's also gonna stop moving.
Oh. Would you like me to stay with you, or are you alright by yourself? I'm sure you will be perfectly safe.
Nevalier. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, you can go ahead.
Nevalier will nod and be like, "Oh, makes sense. We could split up and find it faster." And Nevalier will back up towards the door with his 2 weapons in hand.
Or, as a way of explaining away why she's not here, we're just gonna say Taylor stays with him.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah.
Button doesn't want to stay with him.
Taylor will stay
Hey,
with
let's
him.
go.
Taylor, let's go. Taylor's the best MVP. Alright. Babysit the Micken.
Yeah, babysit the Micken. So all of you start exploring the ship, and there doesn't seem to be anything on the command deck at first. And you all kind of were familiar with the access shaft that you came up. So you start to climb your way down one of the other access shafts, seeing if there's something that you were unaware of in one of the others. And it takes a good hour or two to climb down the other one. But kind of in between the decks, you find a room off of the access shaft. And inside, it is smaller and more roughly hewn than any of the rest of the ship. Very clearly not made by a disintegration ray. It actually seems to have been carved by hand of some sort. And inside, you see what looks like a bunch of work tables, but not human-sized work tables, more work tables for somebody small, more like button-sized. And there is various odds and ends of pieces of scrap metal and tools of various kinds, and even some other bits of wood and crystal that could be used for something. Not quite sure, but it's a construction workshop of some kind. Do you continue?
Huh. I kind of have a thought.
Kind of a thought.
Go on
Let me double
with
check
your
this.
kind of.
Depending on what this is, this could be useful or it just could not be useful. But I'd rather it, before we get into possible combat, to maybe cast Summon Beast.
Okay. What form are you wanting it to be in?
Let me roll 1d2. 1. I'd like to know, can Can it be a big frog?
It can take the shape of a big frog if you would like, but you still have to pick air, land, or water. Specifically.
Land.
Land. Okay.
Yeah. A big frog that's like button sized.
Hell yeah.
So
Yep. You cast your frog. Does it look like a normal frog, or is it a mechanical frog? Describe your frog.
ooh. Oh hell fucking yeah. Okay. So you know those like little tinkering toys that like have like the little wind up thing on the back?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much that, except the little little key to wind it up is a mushroom.
What?
And there's like little bits of like tiny little mycelium on the kind of like how Button has little mushrooms on their coat. The frog also has little mushrooms on like the back of its eyes, like almost like where there would be like ears, or where it's like I forgot the name of it, but like a certain type of gland is. It's robot fungus frog. And little when it's like those little tinkering toys, you wind them up and then the little key spins. It's that, but it's a mushroom that's spinning on the back.
It is both very cute and mildly disturbing.
That is the point of Button.
Why, yes, thank you for being here.
Thank you. All right, Button summons big fucking frog.
So what you're telling me is that you summoned a toadstool?
Yes.
Eh?
Oh my god.
Get it?
Yes, thank you.
No.
Alright.
So, any of you can make an investigation for me.
Okay. Investigation.
Oh shit. I crit.
Yes, you did.
Can't beat a crit, but I'm gonna roll. There you go. Dumb Nevalier strikes again.
I think Neville's just distracted by the weird fucking frog Button just summoned.
Truth.
Are you waiting for your roll to go through, Piper?
It doesn't beat a crit, so.
Okay. So, as you all are kind of standing in this workshop and looking around, Button, you see more of the scratches like Nevalier described near the entryway of this little workshop. And it is a little clearer in the uneven kind of natural cut of the stone here, that they were made by something thin and pointy. Extremely thin and pointy. And they seem to come in and out of the door and disappear within a couple of inches. As if, again, something climbing in and out. And as you kind of walk around the workshop, you examine some of the tools and some of the bits and pieces on the various tables. And something about some of them strikes you as immediately familiar. And you immediately think, oh, there is something robotic around.
Huh.
Oh. That makes sense. Well, it doesn't. But I suppose it has to. Therefore it does. Button turns to everyone and just says, I think the thing that we are following is robotic in nature.
Nevalier will turn to Buttons and raise an eyebrow in question.
If you look at the tools that are scattered about, and also if you look at the claw marks, they are very precise and are incredibly, incredibly thin. Not naturally thin. Something that would be manufactured to be that concise and evenly spread and perfect. Therefore, I have reason to believe it is something robotic in nature. And I believe I would be able to recognize something like that due to my very own robotic nature.
Nevalier nods and I guess it kind of scrunches his nose a little bit, or his beak, and will think, oh, question. Do you have any clue as to what it might be, aside from robotic?
Can Button
With
figure it out by the little bits and bobs around
the
the
nat
room?
20, the bits and bobs that you see on the tables makes you inclined to think it is something more akin to an auto-gnome or a warforged or something like that. However, you've never seen anything that makes, or any auto-gnome or warforged that you have ever seen or met or read about that would be able to make scratch marks like that.
Gotcha. Okay. Button just like, I imagine, how high are the tables?
They would be perfect working height for Button.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay. So Button just like walks around, looks at all the tables, picks things up, inspects them, puts them down. Well, I have an idea. But I also have bad news. My idea is that these parts remind me of creatures like myself, auto-gnomes, but also warforges. They're very similar to how those that I have met and myself are built. However, I have not met, heard of, read about any warforge or auto-gnome, myself included, that can make scratches like the ones we have seen.
So it's likely an auto-gnome, but not one that you would know.
Yes.
Okay.
Or one that has been altered in some way, shape, or form. I assume auto-gnome, considering I believe that all of the warforged I have met have been much taller. Unless this particular warforged prefers sitting down. That is also an option that we cannot rule out.
I love Button's logic.
He could
We
be
searched
deciding
the
to
entire
sit
ship?
down.
What'd
Could
you
be
say,
very
Cody?
sleepy.
Have we searched the entire ship yet? Or is that what we're working towards?
That's kind of what we're working towards.
Okay.
Mhm. But there's like, I think, a doorway that we could go through, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, since they're scratch marks, I don't know. Can you like tell how like fresh a scratch mark was?
Because it's an inside in a like kind of controlled environment ship, there's not any wear and tear.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
There's a lot of scratch marks, but you can't tell how old.
Alright. Well,
So Nevalier will look to Button and narrow his eyes for a second and say, "So if they're an auto-gnome similar to you, mostly, would I be able to see them if they're radiating any kind of magical aura?"
Fucking, how do autonomes work? Would it only fucking... You know what? I'm gonna just hit you with the... You know what? I'm gonna just hit you with the... Every autonome is different and uniquely made. I do not know if that would work. You are more than welcome to try. It may work. But it also might not. So it is at your own risk.
Then a Nevalier, like, kind of tilts his head to one side and sort of like not in an almost measuring kind of, okay, upside this, downside that, fuck it. And he is going to cast Detect Magic, which he can do exactly once per day, but it will last him for 10 minutes. So he's going to kind of walk a bit faster just so that he can run through every room, give it a quick glance, and then move on.
Let me double check this really fast. Read this exact spell. So when you any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic. Okay. So when you cast it, of course you kind of look around your friends, and pretty much all of your friends give off an aura of some sort, except for Trixie, I believe. Of various shades and colors. So you can tell that they are magic capable. And you kind of turn towards this doorway on the other side of this room. And it is a doorway that, upon approach, is designed for someone button-sized. So it is very short to the rest of you. You can proceed down the hallway beyond it, because once you open it, you see just this hallway stretching on inward, seeming to curve with the ship. But for all the rest of you, you will either be crouching or crawling. And certainly no flying.
Don't worry, guys. Button can lead with the toad.
Well, don't see why we shouldn't just fucking go for it. If you lead with the toad, Nevalier will be right behind. Well, not right behind, but behind the toad, like trailing a little bit, I guess.
Okay.
Robot toad.
So,
Sad mushroom.
Button and Toad are leading. Nevalier is behind to give me the rest of the marching order.
I guess I'll be in the middle.
Techway will bring up the rear.
Okay. So, Button, Nevalier, Angela, Trix, and Techway. So as you all continue down this hallway, it does curve with the ship, and it is not comfortable, because again, much like the room that you just all exited, this hallway seems to be carved by hand and tool, rather than by disintegration beam. So it's a little jagged and a little uneven at portions. The floor kind of digs into your hands and knees as some of you crawl. And there are moments where the hallway tightens just a little bit to be extra uncomfortable, but it's not so much that you can't take an extra couple of seconds to squeeze through to where it widens again. And just as you're about to the point where it's like, okay, this hallway is just never going to end. It's just going to go on forever. You all begin to hear the shifting of metal and kind of nails on chalkboard squeaks and scrapes. And Button, you at the front, see a little further up the hallway an opening into a room beyond that is shadowed just enough that you can't quite see it while in the hallway. And Nevelier is not quite close enough yet to be able to see into the room with the detect magic.
Mm-hmm.
Button will stop and gesture for Nevelier to crawl faster.
He's gonna crawl faster, I guess. Just like still trying to be as stealthy as he possibly can be.
Okay. Roll me a stealth then.
So I chose stealth as my passive skill.
Okay. Your
Does that matter? It would be 16.
Okay, 16. That is actually the DC, so yes, it does.
Hey, let's fucking go.
Hey.
So you move a little closer and kind of stick your head around Button, over Button's shoulder, because there's not enough room for you to squeeze past Button at the moment. And kind of squint your eyes into the darkness beyond, and just at the edge of your vision, you see something glowing with magic.
Can I tell what school of magic it is?
Let me go pull up the schools of magic.
It doesn't necessarily have to have one.
I don't think any of the schools of magic actually apply to this thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Generic.
So be it. Then I can't signal to Button in any way without making noise. Is it gonna be? Am I gonna be able to get in a place where I can have more room?
You would have to exit the tunnel into the room beyond. The tunnel is a fairly standard size and shape all the way through.
Okay, so but it does widen up at the end.
Yes, it is a full room beyond.
Okay. All right. I will. Oh. Nevelier is going to crawl as silently as he can until he gets to the opening of the room, but kind of stay prone.
Okay. So Button would have to exit into the room for you to get to it.
What if Button like crawls on top of him, being prone?
Unfortunately, Nevelier is the biggest of everybody.
Motherfucker. Button can like scooch and shrink. I'm just kidding. Okay. So Button would just see you getting closer, and Button just like looks at you, looks at the room, looks at you, points to themselves, and then points to their room, and then like tilts head.
Nevelier, there's no way to silently communicate this, but He will nod very slowly, and he will hold one finger up to the front of his mouth, and he won't make any noise, but he will mouth like the shush.
Sorry, I had to resist the urge to chaos roll. Button understands. Okay. Button gets it. Button nods. I gotta resist the urge. I was like, my mouse was hovering over the button, and I was like, no. This is not a chaos character. Just get nod. And then Button looks down at Toad, points to Toad, tilt head.
Neville, he doesn't know what the fuck that means. Just like
Button nods.
shrug.
Button nods sagely.
I hope that turns out good.
Button's bringing in the Toad.
Thank God.
Is everyone here right now?
Yeah, you're all
yeah.
lined up in a
Most.
tunnel. Button is at the front with her Toad. Nevelier is behind. Angela's in the middle. Trixie's behind that. And Tekwe's at the back. And it's a tunnel that's small enough that you all are essentially crouching and or crawling on hands and knees to get through. So the marching order is in effect.
Okay.
Yeah, can't change the marching order.
When there was like a long minute of waiting, Trixie will send the telepathically. What's the holdup?
Gotta give Nevelier an aneurysm. That's what the holdup is.
This is like just rubbing his brow, like there's a lot going on. Fuck.
Button gets light bulb idea. Button breaks out a piece of paper and a pencil.
Isn't it dark?
You guys do essentially have like magic lights on you right now.
Okay. Well, at least we have magic light.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Okay. So Button breaks out a piece of paper and a pencil. And Button looks very pleased with themselves as they hand it to Nevelier.
Ugh. Nevelier will write, I sent something in the room up ahead. I'm not sure what it is. Be quiet. What do you want with the Toad?
Button looks at it, nod, tilt head. Writes down, I was asking if you wanted me to leave the Toad for safety.
Just reads it like for safety, and just like he doesn't write that down. He's like just thinking that to himself, like I don't know what that means. And he will perplexedly just looked at looked at him and say like no, like shake his head very lightly back and forth, like I don't know what to tell you other than no.
Button writes down, I am aware. My plan was to bring the Toad with me.
What? I don't know. He just like shrugs and just goes, go ahead, take the Toad.
I'm sorry.
Like, sure. He's fucking lost. Like, what? Why are you bringing the frog? Do you need the frog? Is the frog good?
I'm sorry. I'm having way too much fun with Button.
As
Button.
this is going on, you hear a sudden, very loud crash of metal.
Oh shit! Turn around.
And as you turn your attention back towards the room, that magic that you could just see on the edge of your vision is not there anymore.
I'm gonna like bring my dagger up to bear I don't know if I can get myself into a threatening position where I am, but I'm gonna try.
All right.
Oh, Button, are you exiting the tunnel so that Nevalier can
Yep.
get out?
Yep.
Roll me a stealth.
Here we go. So not stealthy. Nope.
You
Oh god.
exit the tunnel and you realize that at the end of the tunnel there is like 3 or 4 inch little step off down into a circular room beyond. And you look down, and without a second thought, you just kind of jump down. And there's the sound of metal hitting stone. 2 distinct spots of metal hitting stone.
Very, very loud sound of like a gong.
Slow turn back to Neville.
And there we go.
Oh
You
shit.
appear right here. Button. That blue is the doorway to this tunnel. Beyond is a circular kind of bowl-shaped room. And kind of strewn across all of it is bits and pieces of metal and stone and boulders that seem to have fallen from the ceiling. And you see at a few different spots around the room partial I will do that in a minute. You see partially deconstructed autognomes laying on the floor, seeming to have been almost cannibalized for parts. And as you kind of scan the room, you see 3 things immediately perk up and turn in your direction. And you see 3 what you immediately recognize from Academy lessons. 3 clockwork horrors.
Oh, fuck. They're
They're
really cool.
little red LED lights that are their eyes start the scanning motion. And almost immediately there is the sound of saws kicking into gear.
And Nevalier, like, the saws go off, and he will just jump immediately after Button, like, weapons at the ready.
Uh-oh.
Spadudio.
I will say that all of you can go ahead and get your characters out of the tunnel really fast. So you can all drop your characters over in that section where Button is. And then roll me initiatives.
Oh, now I want to roll a high dex roll.
And then...
Oof.
And
It didn't even add my dex bonus. Why?
what is your dex?
18.
Oh, so what should you have rolled?
It should be a 5.
Should be a 5, okay. I will just
Wait, a
edit it.
13 dex?
Fuck you.
Alright, and we will take this moment for a quick 10-minute break while I get a couple of things adjusted on my side. Get you a character sheet, Amy.
Thank you.
Add character. So there should be a character sheet at the top of the journal for you.
Thank you.
What is happening to Mr. Amy?
I wasn't gonna
What?
ask.
We-
I hear like
We hear
moany
things.
grunts.
We hear things.
hungry.
He's sleeping?
I think he's voicing his displeasure.
Oh, he's dreaming. I wonder what he's dreaming about.
I don't.
Joe.
Do you think he's running?
Those are not happy sounds.
Oh,
Those are, I am either uncomfortable or unhappy or both.
oh. Well, I don't know what to say. It's just that's the end of my thought.
Probably. I don't know. Toad. His name Toad. Toad. Ooh. Toad is here. Why is Toad huge? Whatever. I shall be back.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see this thing first. Oh boy. It's funny, there are days where they sound more like a chicken than other days.
Bella is very much dog chicken
Can
in like
confirm.
a nice way.
No, you're right. You're right.
Also, while we are here, Iris, are you here? What is your vote between Squid Ship and Dragonfly Ship?
Dragonfly, the fast one.
So we have 2 and 1, because Cody has yet to pick.
I voted squid with the emoji. Oh, but I guess I also voted butterfly.
Yes.
I'll remove the butterfly.
2 and 2, so that leaves Amy and Mandy as the deciding votes. We'll give Amy another 2 minutes, and then we'll start up. Here's to hoping that this encounter does not fuck y'all over.
It'll be fine.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
Hi.
So, let me swap this over. Okay, here. So, as you all rush out of the tunnel, you all are greeted by the sound of whirring saws and a couple of lights scattered around the room of various clockwork horrors as their attention turns to you. And as they shift, you see this one over here slowly take its legs off of what looks to be another body of an auto gnome. It moves as soon as it's free, seeming to try and drag itself away into the rubble behind it, trying to escape the clockwork horror. But before any of you can react, the first one that is just around the corner out of sight rushes forward and it takes a swipe. And as it comes around, you see that it is of a similar magical hue, Nevalier, to what you saw and watched disappear from the tunnel. And it shall make a lightning attack against both Nevalier and Angela. Okay. Does a 22 hit, Nevalier?
Yes.
Okay, and does a 14 hit Angela?
No.
Okay, so Nevalier, you are taking here. You will take 10 lightning damage.
10 lightning damage.
As
Gotcha.
a spark jolts out from the main body of the clockwork horror, arcing both towards Angela and Nevalier, but Angela, you managed to step back just in time. But Nevalier, it hits you full in center mass. Button, it's your turn.
Okay. Alright. I'm just trying to look at the action economy on this. Oh yeah, so this is an action. Okay, so first thing Button is gonna do is bonus action Shillelagh the quarterstaff.
Mm-hmm.
As will be their first thing they do for a very long time. So Button casts Shillelagh, and then Button is going to use a wild shape
Okay.
to activate Symbiotic Entity.
Tell me what that does specifically.
So, as an action, you can expand the use of your wild shape feature to awaken spores that are always around the halo of spores that are around Button. To awaken these spores, rather than transforming into a beast form, you gain 4 temp HP for each level you have in this class, and while this feature is active, you gain a couple benefits. When you deal your halo of spores damage, roll the damage die a second time, add it to the total. Melee weapon attacks deal an extra 1d6 necrotic. And it lasts for 10 minutes or until you lose all these temp HP.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that is Button's turn.
I
This is a melee class.
will also say that if, because it's the way I prefer to run summons, because you get a free, like, talking to people, you can get a free direct command to your summons, so you don't have to use a bonus action for it.
Oh, yeah. The spell says that it takes its turn immediately after yours. No action required to command it.
Mm-hmm. So just lump your summons into your turn.
Yeah. And Toad is gonna move. Button is gonna just activate all the spores around Button, kind of just... They're usually invisible, but suddenly it's visible now. It's like a very light, pale yellow, some like dark brown mycelium like webbing surrounding Button. And as Button activates this, Button points to the clockwork horror that just attacked Nevelia and Angela, and just fucking tells Toad, pounce. Toad hop, 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 and attack.
Okay.
And it's using the land. So land has advantage on an attack roll against a creature. If ally is within 5 feet, it has pack tactics.
Yup.
Your spell attack modifier to hit. Okay. So d20 plus 6. Oh, that doesn't hit. Unless a 9 hit? Nah, it didn't hit.
Unless...
Wait, it has advantage!
Yep, it has advantage.
It has advantage! It's a 17 hit.
No.
Oh, we're fucked.
Oh.
Oh, we're fucked.
No.
A 17 missed? Yeah, we're fucked.
We're fucked.
Yeah.
Save or suck time.
Alright, everyone, good luck.
I will also say spellcasters. Let me double check this really fast. No, you wouldn't have that yet. Continue. Take away.
So I would like to move like here-ish without provoking an opportunity attack.
You can skirt behind all of your friends.
Yes.
And go around if you would like.
And end up right here.
Yes.
Okay. And then how far from this one here?
The room is relatively to size.
Okay. I'm going to pull out the bow that was probably already out, speak some weird bug words, and a bunch of moths are gonna come crawling out of my fur, and I'm gonna shoot the bow at that guy.
Okay, roll your attack.
I do that. Where is that at? Oh, weapons? Yes. Ouch.
Unfortunately, a 9 will not hit.
Yep. That's it.
Okay. this one observes all of you, but it will double check its speed really fast. Yep. Starts to move around the room, ends up here. And it looks like it is heading towards another opening that is over here. Then this one will abandon the auto gnome and we'll move. Double check this distance towards all of you. We'll leave it about here. Angela.
Hey. Chuck a magic missile at one of them, I guess.
What's the highest spell level that you have?
1.
Okay.
I haven't heard if I say. Casting. If I have to roll every single one of these at this, so I'm just gonna roll before. Yeah, okay, I'm just gonna roll before. So plus another 2 more, so 9,
13.
and the one I rolled on my Beyond 20 was a 4.
Okay, so 13.
Oh, it did show my first one. Okay. And I'll move in between.
And you're doing this one, right?
Yes.
Okay. Alright. Nevalier.
Well, got short sword in one hand, dagger in the other, and they're both still lit up. So Nevalier is gonna sidestep down here and attack once with his action and attack once with his bonus action.
And as it is a true flank, you will have advantage.
Hey, so this should be short sword. Short sword, finesse, slashing, and this is 1d6, and then this is my dagger. Advantage there. So short sword, 24 to hit for 6 slashing damage, plus my Crimin right, which is 3 lightning.
Okay.
And then the backswing with the dagger, 21 to hit for, why is that 0? It didn't roll a fucking die. God damn it. That's fine. So 3 plus my dex, which is 4 for 7 slashing damage, and then a d4 for the lightning damage. 3 lightning damage. So that's 19 damage in total.
19 damage in total. Okay, let me see here. Math. There we go.
Yes. Math.
Alright, you hit it both times, and these two let out just deafening nail on chalkboard screeches as they start to take damage from Angela and Nevalier. Trixie.
I need to see how far I can. 60. I will use a key point to use Step of the Wind
Mhm.
to run towards this guy over here because I don't want him getting away. And I will punch.
Okay, roll your attack. And it will not hit, unfortunately.
Takes that. And that'll be my turn.
Okay, top of the round. This one, now that it is surrounded, will use its multi-attack. And let me see here. I'm assuming an 11 does not hit Nevelier.
No. Thank God.
Does an 8 hit the frog?
Nope.
And
Wow.
5 definitely won't hit Angela. So it just whiffs on all of them. Starts thrashing around, waving its saws in a semi-threatening manner, but does not manage to make contact at all. But
Button. Can Button have, like, attack from here?
yes.
Okay. Button's gonna run up. Button's gonna bonk. 25 hit?
Yes, a 25 will hit.
Oof, 6 damage. So 6 bludgeoning damage, but Button also does an additional 3 necrotic
Okay.
as the mushrooms around them have awoken. Button doesn't really have a bonus action economy. So Button is going to command the frog to attack. 21?
Yup.
I didn't expect to get this far. What is there?
I will just go ahead and tell you their AC, the AC that you were looking for, is an 18.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
The AC for Cusco's AC.
28 plus 4 plus spells level. Okay, so 1 second. 7 damage from Toad as Toad chomps after Button bonks.
It does have advantage, so you can roll again
Oh.
to crit fish.
Crit fish? Nope.
Nope.
Oh,
Okay.
that's... Nope.
7 damage. Yes, that's the appropriate math. Technically.
Okay, Techway will move to like right here and try to shoot this one this time.
Okay.
Hey,
25 will hit.
cool. So a couple things are gonna happen. First, the moths are gonna jump off of the arrow and start slinging silk. And I'm gonna. It's what spell is it? Ensnaring strike. So I think that's a strength saving throw.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's see here. 16.
I believe that passes. What is my... Here, if I do this, does it show my... No, it doesn't.
It's not.
Yeah, I'm just assuming that passes. My wisdom is...
Yeah, your saving throw would be about 14 or 15 right now, I think.
Okay, so my wisdom's a 3. So, yeah, 14. So, yeah. Okay, well, that's fine. It still hits for that 13, and then the moths are gonna bite. Dealing an extra 1d6 piercing. So that's 4. So 17 damage.
Okay.
And that's it.
All right. So you hit, and this one is now crawling with moss that it starts trying to shake off, but it is still moving. And it is then its turn. As the only one close by, it'll target Trixie with its multi-attack. And let us see. A 10 will not hit, I am sure.
Nope.
But an 18 and a 24 will, I'm assuming.
Yep.
And so you get hit by both of its rotating saw hands as it swings. And let's see here. You will take a total of 11 damage, slashing damage between the two, as it just starts cutting at your legs. And then this one, seeing that its friend is getting ganged up on, is going to target the closest person, which will be Angela. And will use its multi-attack. It's a 15 hit.
Nope.
Nope. Okay. A 24 will, though.
Yes, it will.
So you will also get hit by a rotating saw. Doing a total of 6 slashing damage as it starts trying to hack at your legs in retaliation.
Mhm.
It is your turn.
I will punch the one between me and Nevelier.
Okay, you will roll at advantage.
Okay, I don't know why this is rolling so slowly, so I'm just gonna roll d20s and add my stuff.
Okay.
It's +5 to hit. Oh wait, advantage.
That'll hit.
23. 23 dealing a d8 +3. So 10 damage, and it has disadvantage targeting anybody except me.
Okay. It is starting to look a little fucked
And that's
up.
thunder damage, by the way.
Gotcha. Nevelier, your turn.
Oh, weird. Then let's see. Okay, so I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on the one in front of me, and you have my bonus action to cast Hunter's Mark, I should say. Then I will attack it with my short sword. Sha. That is probably a miss.
You're at advantage. Angela's
Oh
directly across from you.
yeah. Maybe a hit?
That'll hit.
Hey! Oh. Got short sword damage. Not very good. And then I've got the Crimson Right damage. That's 1 lightning. And then I've got the Hunter's Mark damage, which is a d6?
I believe
Right?
so.
Yeah. I could not have possibly rolled worse for damage.
But
That is
damage is damage.
literally the worst amount of damage.
Damage is damage.
Math is math.
Okay. Trixie, your turn.
Gonna do a kick. Well, damn.
That'll miss. At least you're
I
keeping this
will-
thing distracted.
Yeah, and I will use my key point to do patient defense. So I take the dodge action as a bonus action.
Gotcha. That'll bring us to the top of the round. This one.
Oh, wait.
Hmm?
Wait, which one is it? Is it the one that's getting ganged up on?
Yes.
Alright, Bun's gonna use their reaction.
Okay.
For Halo Spores, you can use your reaction to deal... It's gonna be a con save to one creature you can see when it moves into a space within 10 feet of you or starts its turn there. So it needs to make a con save, DC 14.
DC 14. Okay. That'll be a 16.
Fuck. Alright, carry on.
And let me see here. Since Angela has decided Angela wants to be punching bag, Angela gets to be punching bag. It'll turn fully towards you and roll. Okay. A 20?
It just hits.
And that won't hit because that is a 14. And then a 23.
God damn it. Yeah.
Just hits on the 23. So it lunges forward and will bite you and then connect with one of its saws. So the bite will be you take 10 piercing damage from the bite and then 5 slashing damage from the saw.
I have 2 HP.
Button, it is your turn.
We don't have Taylor.
No, you don't.
Well, shit.
We don't need it.
Save one of your healing spell, like one of your slots for a healing spell.
Oh, yep. Okay. I mean, buttons... How much... Do I heal now or do I just pick them up? I don't do good heals. Could be something, though.
I'll tell you, the one that just attacked is looking pretty fucked up.
The one ganged up on or the one
The
to
one
the...
ganged up on.
Alright, you know what? Angela, Button can pick you back up.
The other two
Button
are
doesn't
looking
do-
fairly healthy still.
Yeah,
I mean, surely they won't hit above a 20 again.
you can take your chances. Button will pick you up. Button's gonna attack the one that's getting oofed. Oop. Okay, 23.
Yeah.
10 damage plus, I think...
And it goes down.
Ooh. Hell yeah.
Hey.
Alright. Button's gonna use their movement to run over here. Fast as fuck. Little legs. Running. Over here. Got you, Angela. Toad is gonna run over here. And bite. 25.
That'll hit.
9 damage from Toad.
Okay.
That's it.
Hey.
Tikwe.
Just gonna keep firing.
Which one are you aiming at?
The one by Trixie. 21.
Okay.
That's 9 plus 1d6. So that's 11. Plus, I'm also gonna use my favorite foe and mark it. So that's an extra 1d4.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. 12 damage.
12 damage. Okay. That one's starting to look a little rough. A little rough now. And it is its challenge on Trixie as best it can.
It has disadvantage. It's dodge.
This is true. So let us see here. So that's an 11. That's a 10. That'll be a 15.
Nope.
Sheesh.
Whoa.
So that one starts trying to hit you, but you manage to just dance your way back and away from it every time it swings and lunges. This one now has suddenly been surrounded and will attack in 3 different directions, hoping it's going to hit somebody. So, I am imagining a 7 does not hit Button. However, an 18 will probably hit Toad.
Yep.
Okay, and a 10 will not hit Angela.
Nope.
So, this one is... Toad will take 10 damage.
Okie doke.
Angela, it is your turn.
Well, let's see here. Mama didn't raise a coward, so I'm going to attack.
You have advantage.
Mama didn't hear no bell.
Hey!
There's a crit.
Oh shit! Let's go!
Are we doing
Yeah,
max roll for this? Okay.
yeah, the standard crit thing that we've been doing.
The
So
chunky
it'll be-
crits.
So it'll be a d8 plus 3 plus 11. D8 plus 3, so 6 plus 11 for 17.
Okay.
A
And it has disadvantage against attacking people other than me.
You sure you want to do that again?
Mama didn't raise no coward.
Okay, let me actually have to pull out the calculator for this one. Okay.
And that is thunder damage, if that means anything.
No, this one does not have anything to do with thunder.
Okay.
Nevalier, it is your turn.
Nevalier. Let me look at this ability really quick because I need to make sure I understand how this works. So if I and smaller creature, yeah. So if I fly, this is the bastard, right?
That is the auto gnome that was trying to escape. That seemed to have been being attacked by the clockwork.
If I move back here, like scoot against the wall, and I charge forward, can I get enough distance to get my to activate the Talon Strike?
I'll say yes.
Okay, I have to make an unarmed strike, so he'll jump back, let go of a dagger, which that kills the blood thing on it, which is sad, but Nevalier will charge at the last little Dudo, and it will have to make an athletics or acrobatics check against my DC, which is 14.
Okay, athletics or acrobatics. Let me see. Do they have anything? Nope.
Wait, who are you attacking?
I'm attacking you, Button. No, I'm attacking this guy. I'm tackling
Okay.
him.
Gotcha.
Okay. That was a 19 before the additions, so it's a
Fuck.
21.
Stinky. Well, that puts me, I guess, like right here, and I will use my bonus action to just attack it with my short sword, I guess. Or, well, wait. I'm not wielding another weapon
Yeah, so
because
you
it's
wouldn't be
only in
able
my
to dual
hand.
wield.
Bonus action, Hunter's Market.
There you go.
And that's my turn.
Okay, Trixie.
How fucked up is this guy looking?
And the one in front of you is starting to look a little fucked up. He's not been wailed on like the other two have, though.
Does he look like he'd run away if I stepped out of his range? Or does he seem interested in fighting?
You can't really tell.
Okay.
There's no facial or like body expressions that make sense to you with the clockwork orb.
Okay. But it was heading this way.
Yeah, it was heading towards
Right.
an opening that's over there, like another tunnel.
Okay. I am going to disengage
Okay.
this way. Like this. Yeah, like right there. I don't have a lot of HP. So I'm trying to get it closer to my friends while also being in its way. So yeah. That'll be my turn.
Alright. That one is dead, so it is Button's turn.
Bonk.
Bonk. Okay, roll your bonk. At advantage.
I mean, unless Angela would like a cure wounds or something.
If you want to heal me, you know, you don't have to.
My button
But if
is
you're
built to
feeling up
bonk.
for it, yeah, if you're feeling up for it,
I'd say, how fucked up does this one look?
A little more fucked up than the other one.
Not nearly.
Let's say the one by Trixie is like half-ish. This one's just a little below half.
Okay. Button does not give very good heals, but Button can heal. And Button is a team player. Most of the time. So, Button is gonna not attack, not bonk. Button is gonna scooch by Toad. Can Button like have Toad like move? Can she squeeze by Toad to get to Angela?
Small, so you should be able to just move through them as if it's
Yeah.
difficult terrain.
Yeah, Button's gonna move to Angela, give Angela a pat on the knee. Because that's what Button can reach. And fuck it. You're at how you're like really
I'm
really
at 2 HP.
Yeah, second level 10. Take it or leave it.
I will take it.
Button is not a healer. Button can heal. And that was Button's turn. Big oops, no bonks. Button is going to tell Frog to bite again.
Okay.
22.
Will hit.
4. 9.
Okay.
And this is at top of the round started, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okie doke.
Alright, starting to look much more fucked up now. Attack quick.
Gonna shoot this one again, and also gonna bonus action try ensnaring strike again, seeing Trix back away. 25.
Okay. 25 for 13 damage.
13 plus 6 plus 4. 23 damage.
Ooh, okay.
And strength save.
I'm doing math in my head. Okay.
Don't hurt yourself.
It's late, man. Give me the fuck alone. And a strength save. Okay. 12.
Dope. So then the moths that are biting it throw some silk on it and it's restrained.
Okay. It cannot move.
And I think at the start of its turn it takes damage.
From the ensnaring strike?
Yes. Yeah. It'll take 1d6 at the start of each of its turns, and it can use its action to make a strength check to get out.
Okay, so go ahead and roll the damage because it is next in the order.
Okay. 3.
Okay. And it will try to make the strength save. That'll be a 16.
It busts out of the silk.
And it shall run. Starts skittering across the floor and then up onto the wall, heading towards the exit. That is its turn. This one,
Con save.
con save. Let's see what it's con. 14.
Just fucking makes it. Motherfucker.
And it will use its multi-attack again. Let me see if I can get this thing to roll 3 die for me again. Rather than fucking up. Okay. So that is a 12 against the frog.
Doesn't it?
Okay, and then a 22 against both you and Angela. I'm assuming the sounds of pain as it hits.
Why is it hitting over 20 constantly?
So it'll be 5 damage to Button and 6 damage to Angela as its saws swing around and strike at both of you.
Okay.
And it is now Angela's turn.
Is there any way I can move that would get a true flank on this guy? Like this?
Yes.
Okay. D20 plus 5. That's my turn.
Okay, Nevalier.
Well, I'm going to pull out. I believe I have. Hold on, let me check my inventory. I think I have extra daggers. I have 1 extra dagger. Let's fucking go. I will pull out an extra dagger, which does not have my blood crimson right all over it. So I'm gonna attack with my short sword and then attack with my dagger. So
At
the
advantage.
short sword here. 25 to hit for 8 slashing and 1 lightning.
Okay.
Un
You did.
poquito lightning.
Criticize the toad. The toad's giving you advantage now.
Okay, and dagger.
Yes, and dagger Dagger. 3 slashing.
which is exactly what you needed to kill it.
Hey. Suffer.
As the dagger hits home, it just sparks and crumbles to the ground. And Trixie, it is your turn.
So it's not in the hole to escape, but it's almost to it, correct?
It is directly beside it.
I'm going to get in the way. So, yeah. Get in the way and kick it, I guess? Yeah, I'll try and kick it off the fucking wall that it's climbing.
Okay.
Strike. Oh.
That'll hit.
Yay! And I will use my bonus action to do a second unarmed strike. I would like to use my inspiration, please.
Okay, and you can roll at advantage with your inspiration.
Yay. Yeah.
21 will hit. And as you kick it off the wall and your other leg comes down and smashes it into the ground, it does not get up. You have killed all 3 of the clockwork horrors.
Hey. Big money.
Hey!
Just gonna.
Attention turns to Auto Gnome. Yep. Technically.
Trixie will also assist.
Just gonna.
Investigate time. Hope.
So as you all turn and start heading towards this auto gnome, he has seemingly crawled his way halfway under a broken table and seems to be trying to get away. And as it hears the approaching footsteps, starts trying to crawl faster.
There we go.
Angela butting to herself as she heals.
Oh
And
man.
as you approach, you all see a particularly small auto gnome that seems to be heavily damaged. Its legs seem to be disconnected at the moment, and there's scratches and shredded metal all over it, where you can tell it's been dealing with the clockwork horrors trying to get at it. And this is what you see. And do any of you speak Gnomish?
Button does.
And as you approach and he turns just slightly towards you, you see there is a nameplate that has been attached across the chest that says Whizpop.
It's a good name.
Whizpop. I love Whizpop. Okay, Button will approach. Auto Gnome to Auto Gnome and just like crouch down next to Whizpop. Hello. Would you like some assistance in healing?
And Whizpop, you see the mechanics of his mouth and jaw start working, but as the metal that represents his beard goes up and you see a peak of his throat underneath, you see that his voice box has been damaged. Little sparks jumping across it. And all you hear as he tries to speak is just this shh, and then the sound of gears grinding, and then little pop of electricity.
Cool. This guy's an auto gnome, right?
Yes.
Button's gonna cast mending.
Hell yeah.
So you can start to use mending. However, as you use mending on him, it becomes clear that it's gonna take a bit.
Button has time.
Pixie and Techway can technically communicate and translate too. So Trixie will push into its mind, hey, we're here to help.
And as you speak into his mind, there's a flinch, a very visible flinch of fear, and just slowly looking over the group, one side to the other and then back. And does your telepathy actually say that it's two-way?
It says you don't need to share a language, but the contacted creature must understand at least one. That's the only preface, and it just says telepathy as the language is known.
Let me see here.
Still bugs my mind that telepathy is a language.
Why must the Spelljammer races be all the way down here? Why? Here we go. Okay, so it is two-way.
Okay.
So he flinches and there's a moment where there's nothing, and then there's just a very quiet eye.
Nevalier will wave.
He's just kind of watching Button start to cast mending, and you see that very slowly pieces of metal on his arms and torso begin to slowly bend back to the appropriate places and warp together, and then after a moment seem to seal as if there was no damage. And
Or we'll get you in tip-top shape in no time.
Can we like see? You said his legs are detached. Are they like nearby?
they're disabled, essentially, so
Oh,
there's been
disabled.
something that has essentially disconnected the control.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
He's pseudo-paralyzed at the moment.
But not missing pieces.
No.
Okay.
Mending.
You continue to cast mending, and he starts to look a little better. And anybody that is not completely focused on WizPop can roll me an investigation.
Is everyone focused on WizPop? Because
I'm a rolling. My
Okay.
dice just take forever. There we go.
Alright. So, Angela, you see a fairly large container that seems to be secured to the floor over here. And Techway, amongst the rubble that is kind of taking up this corner over here, you see what looks to be a chest kind of half buried under some rock over here.
I guess I'll go examine them.
Are you examining yours as well, Techway?
Yes.
Where is it?
So the one that you saw, Angela, is over here.
It's over here.
Yes. So, Angela, as you go over to this container, you can see that there are arcane runes that have been carved into this. However, they seem to have been damaged and are no longer working. And you can slowly open the lid, and inside you see a spell scroll of rope trick.
Okay. I'll accept that.
Techway, you dig out the container, or the little chest, and it is nice little mahogany chest. It's not super, like, fine, but it's a decent quality, and it is locked, however.
But it's like small enough that I can carry it.
Yes, it's small enough that
Okay.
you can carry it.
I'll just bring it back over here.
Okay. Button and Trixie, are you two trying to talk to Wizpop to any degree? Because he's very clearly traumatized and scared and is not offering any information on his own. It's just
well-
kind of like panicked looking between the two of you, seemingly in disbelief.
Well,
Pixie is trying to calm him down and just like, hey, we're here to help. You know, just keep him calm and not as twitchy if possible to help Button.
You can make a persuasion roll and see how good you are at that.
damn.
Yeah, that's pretty good. As you're trying to calm him down, he seems less like he is ready to bolt at any moment as soon as, like, he can walk again, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
He's still kind of slightly not happy, but he does seem to settle just a bit.
Nice.
Hey, that's good.
Oh. Once he's like settled a little bit, while Button is casting Mending, I imagine like Button just like crouched down right next to him, just like seated. Just, well, hello, like, oh, does Trixie say that out loud or like in head?
In head, she's trying to calm him down essentially.
Okay. So, hello, my name is Button. We are here to help.
As you
If you ever
introduce yourself,
Sorry.
he just, like, taps at the nameplate on his chest.
Button nods. It's very nice to meet you, Wispop. I wish it could be under better circumstances. This is Toad. Points to Toad.
Confusion as he looks at Toad.
Do you think you'd be able to tell us about what happened?
And he just kind of looks back at you and then looks towards, like, past you towards the clockwork horrors. And Trixie, you get in your mind a very kind of stuttering almost response. those things came. They came after the masters left.
Hmm. The masters?
He just like gestures around himself vaguely. The masters.
I will relay that to Button.
The Masters. Can you tell us a bit more about the Masters?
This is their ship. Or it was their ship.
Not anymore. Trixie says in a slight Think says in a slight sing-song voice.
And there's like a single like nod from Wizpop, and he like motions towards like the one of the clockwork horrors crumpled on the ground. Yes, because those things wouldn't come with the masters.
I.
Mm.
Oh.
No, this Nevilier's just doing like disgruntled noise.
I'm assuming Trix is relaying all the things.
Yeah.
Okay. By Masters, do you mean beholders?
There's a nod.
Button's gonna look. Does this room seem like you said that the tunnel itself that we crawled through was like hand like chiseled and not disintegration raid?
Mm-hmm.
Does this room look like it was like carved out by disintegration ray, or was it like
This looks like
normal
it has
construction?
been hand carved as well.
Okay.
And as you think about the roll me an intelligence check. Nope.
Damn.
Never mind.
I don't have an inspiration earl, so I'd use it.
Yeah, you just you know enough that the rooms and the tunnels seem to have been made seemingly, considering the fact that you do see the like essentially cannibalized corpses of other auto gnomes in this room by a group of auto gnomes.
Mm.
Or some other small creature akin to auto gnomes.
If Button had blood, it'd be running cold. Did you work by yourself? Oh, go
I
ahead.
was going to just say we're going to deal with these things as well.
I'm sorry, as DM, I don't know what you mean by these things.
The horrors or whatever, if there are any more.
Wizpop just kind of tilts his head one way and then the other. I don't know if there's any others. Not right now, at least.
Were you created by the beholders? Were you always working for them?
There's a nod.
What?
There's a nod.
None. Huh. Were there other autonomes?
And you see him kind of gesture around the room. There were 10 of us.
And I assume you're the last one left.
Nod.
Do you know how this happened to them?
And he points at the clockwork horrors. Those of you that are paying attention to WizPop can make a history or a nature check.
Hmm.
I'm proficient in neither. Damn. It's really just all my characters can't do shit out of combat, huh? It's just...
I'm for some reason proficient in nature.
Sheer luck.
Okay. So, Nevelier, you remember in one of the lessons that talked about the clockwork horrors that one of the reasons that these creatures are feared despite being relatively small, not super physically dangerous to a lot of spelljammers, what they're feared is that they can construct more of themselves.
Ah. There it is.
And looking around the room, you now know why the other auto gnomes seem to be torn to shreds.
Did you say I don't know why or now know why?
You now know why.
Okay. I was about to say, like, okay. I think I can put it together. Knowing that, it certainly changes some things, but not a heck of a lot. I will like kind of nudge Button, nod my head towards the others, and or nod my head towards the clockwork things, and say, like, think we know what happened to his friends.
Button is silent.
It's... Man, it feels really awkward to just be like, my condolences for everyone you know now vanishing. But, like...
Now vanishing and very possibly being turned into the exact monsters that killed them.
Yeah.
Clockwork horrors are just kind of a pseudo-zombie
Horrors.
to anything that is mechanical.
Well, do we know where these things come from? Origin, maybe?
There is... Let me double check this really fast. There is no known, if you're trying to say in general, there is no known point of origin for clockwork horrors.
Interesting. No known origin. So there's not necessarily there's not going to be like a like a manufacturer or like, oh yeah, this is something that can only be made on X planet because it's got this mineral in it.
With that 20, you know that there are rumors of where the first Clockwork Horror was made. That it was made by a 3-Kreen artificer. But after that, the Clockwork Horrors are just kind of a plague in the galaxy. Because so long as they have the mechanical and metal components needed, they just make more of themselves. So, as long as there is one, there can be many.
Well, that's not helpful. These could be all over the place at this point.
And there's a slightly uncomfortable shift from Wizpop. And he just kind of looks up towards Trixie since she's the one he's communicating through. I haven't seen many. I don't know if they're the same ones over and over again. But if there's more, there can't be much more than these 3 right now.
I'll relay that info. Well, if there's more, if there isn't, either way, we're gonna protect you. So I wonder what, out of character, we do have someone above us right now, right? Like, in chain of command, right?
Yes. Commander Ryback is down
Yeah,
in the
Ryback.
cargo hold.
Yeah. Wonder what Commander Ryback's gonna say.
Hopefully nothing too unhappy.
I do have a question, though, Z.
Mm-hmm.
Is Commander, is Ryback, is he, directly over us, as in, we report to him, or is he there to observe us and in case of emergency step in and tell us what to do?
Generally the latter.
Okay. Does this count as state of emergency?
Well, it's up to y'all.
I wouldn't
Okay.
count it as state of emergency. This just seems like we discovered a fucked up thing. This is sort of like finding a serial killer den, where it's like, wow, this is really bad, but it's not like we can call in the National Guard.
Yeah, so I think we should just let everyone else on the ship know.
Yeah, and to be fair, you guys are going to be on this ship for several days, so it's not like you're not going to run into them anyway.
Well,
True.
this is part of the ship, right? So, isn't part of the thing of being in the helm or whatever, being able to kind of tell what's on the ship?
Yeah.
So wouldn't Micken had a weird spider sense, if nothing else?
Literally.
Possibly, but this is also a very alien ship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because you have to remember that he specifically said when he volunteered to get in the spelljamming helm of I've never piloted one of these, and Bud and Angela could also confirm as they've gone through spelljamming training. You guys would have piloted damselflies, squids, and hammerheads, and maybe a galleon in training. This is a ship 100% designed for a alien species.
Mm-hmm.
Trixie would still have said something akin to that, though, of you'd think you would have noticed. Because she really doesn't know. She's never been on the helm before, so.
It's more complicated than that.
shrug.
Can I am curious about where these tunnels lead, though. For another time.
And as you say that, Wizpop just kind of tilts his head and just like, these are our access tunnels.
Hmm.
Do you think you can draw a map of them so I can add it to the ship map we have?
He just kind of like looks nervously around everybody again, and then there's a slow nod.
You do not have to. I can map it out myself if need be. You should focus on resting if you're not able to.
I can do it. Are you... Do you own the ship now?
For
Neville
the
just
time being?
yeah, and just nods like yes, or lack of a better way of explaining it.
And then there's a slow nod, and he looks towards where there's another piece of metal that is slowly mending on him. So, you're the masters now. I'll do what you want me to do.
That feels weird.
Yeah.
Button just tilts head.
Well, if it wants to serve, then I say let it.
Oh. I don't think any of us consider ourselves your master. If you would like to help us, we would... Well, at least I know I would really appreciate whatever knowledge you have. But do not feel that you have to.
Yeah, if you want to work with us, that'd be cool. But don't force yourself.
You are just met with confusion.
Oh, you were created by the beholders.
Slow nod.
I'll put it to work. Get us an up-to-date map of the ship. Go through all the tunnels, everything. Get us something that we can work with.
Oh,
You
man.
need rest right now.
Once you've recovered, obviously.
Oh, man. Bun's just gonna, like, turn and glance at Angela, but Bun doesn't say anything.
Wizpop just kind of sits up a little bit straighter and kind of looks towards Angela and then looks around to the rest of you. There's already a map, right?
Button takes out map.
And he'll just kind of hold out a hand for the map.
Give map.
And he takes it and kind of rolls it out on the ground beside him. And you see one of his fingers just kind of inverts and out pops a writing utensil, essentially. And he starts scribbling on the map. And it quickly becomes clear that essentially you all are in a series of almost servant tunnels that kind of spiral up and around the ship so that they can access some of the major areas a little bit more easily.
Thank you. I really appreciate the help.
Have these always been here?
It makes sense there for there to be smaller tunnels to navigate and get out of the way of the crew. And this is complete, no current blockages in any of these pathways?
And he just kind of looks around. I don't know. We haven't left. I haven't left this room in a while. We were hiding.
How long has this been an issue? How long were you all hiding for?
He just kind of like tilts his head, and you can see there's calculations kind of running. A month, maybe a little less. The only one showed up and got one of us, and made another one.
Button nods. Right. Would you be comfortable with exiting this area and into the main area? I do not think that these tunnels are safe. If
I
there
would
are
have
more.
to agree.
And there's a slow nod.
If he's going to be part of the crew, he can stay in the crew quarters.
Would that be alright?
I'll stay wherever you tell me to stay.
I'm telling you that you should... How do I phrase this? I'm telling you to stay in a spot that you would feel comfortable. And preferably safe.
Kind of looks around the room again, and you can see his gaze lingers on essentially the remains of his friends.
Yeah.
I don't want to stay here.
Understandable. There's a place up top we could probably find you. Don't worry. We will get you a place to stay. And we will keep you safe from these, and he gestures to like the destroyed clockwork things. Like, we will keep you safe from any more of these things. You don't have to worry about that.
Some anxious fidgeting as you say that, but there's a small nod. Okay, it sounds like we are done with Wizpop.
Before he leaves, Tekwe will ask him if he can open the box.
What's the box, Wizpop?
He stares at it for a moment, and then you see him kind of reach down, and there's a compartment in his stomach that he just opens, and there's a key inside. And he unlocks the box and lets you open it. And inside, there are 6 pearls, each worth 100 gold each.
Nice.
Alright, and so that should be enough for 100 gold pearl for each person. Somebody put that in Discord for Mandy to put on her sheet.
100 gold, you said?
Okay.
What'd you say, Piper?
100 gold, you said?
Yes, a pearl worth 100 gold. 100 gold.
100 girls.
So it's either 100 gold for you or a pretty good spell component if you need it for a spell component at some point. And I'll say that you all can take another couple of minutes to get Wizpop at least mobile. Maybe not super dexterous in his mobility, but mobile. And you all can exit out of here and head up to either up to the command deck or down to the cargo bay where Ryback is. Which would you prefer?
We can just ask Ryback through the sending stone how things are proceeding down there.
Mm-hmm. So up to the command deck then?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll start with you guys getting back to the command deck with Mikan and Taylor next time.
Cool.
And I will go ahead and say I expect if we can get a full session in, you'll probably level up halfway through the session. So go ahead and prep your next level worth of things. And that is where we shall call it today.
Hell yeah. We found a tragic hero.